everyone, my name is Elle, in case you didn't already know, and I am so excited to be bringing you a brand new project pan. So this is a collab with my friend Heather from HeatherStylesLife. I will have her channel, her video linked down below my description box, so please go and check her out. She's wonderful, and I am so glad that she wanted to collab with me on this project. So in case you missed it, just fairly recently I posted an intro for my Fleetwood Mac project pan. I was really excited and really inspired to do that, and a lot of people responded back with their own ideas for sort of musical inspired projects. And Heather left a comment saying how cool it would be to do a Hamilton inspired one. Hamilton, in case you don't know, being a Broadway musical. And I responded back to her comment, and like halfway through writing the comment, I was like, what about a Broadway project pan? Oh my god, let's collab. And it just like, we connected so quickly on that idea because she's also a theater person, I'm a theater person, so you're gonna get to know a little bit more about me here. I've talked about my theater background here and there whenever it's really appropriate. I'm not like a actor, or I'm not pursuing it or anything. I am currently on a council for a local theater group. I'm actually the artistic director for that particular group, which is awesome and so much fun. But it's been a year and a bit since I've been on stage myself. I just don't have the time to commit to anything right now, which, you know, it's unfortunate, but that's how things go. Maybe in a few years when my son gets a little bit older, I will have a little bit more time to do something like that. Maybe, you know, we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm really excited to bring you this Broadway inspired project pan. So Heather and I settled on 7 categories inspired by 7 different songs from different musicals. Although we did repeat one musical, it just so happened that we both wanted to do something from Grease. So the way we did it was we went away for a couple of weeks after we decided we were going to do the collab, and Heather picked 3 musicals, 3 songs, and I picked 3, and then we decided to join together on one, and it was really a cool brainstorm because things ended up changing, and it was a really fun process, and getting to sort of go back to my theater nerdy days. So it's been fun to rediscover that, because in high school I was definitely sort of like Rachel Berry from Glee, like really intense, really intense. So first thing I want to talk about are 2 categories from Grease. One Heather came up with and one I came up with, and the first one that I came up with was the song There Are Worse Things I Could Do. So I wanted to choose a Rizzo song. I knew I had to, because I mean, I watched Grease for the first time when I was 10 years old, the movie, and at that moment in time I decided I wanted to play Rizzo in Grease. Not grow up to be Rizzo, but I actually just wanted to act the part. At that young age, I wanted to play Rizzo someday. I still have not. It is like the #1 thing on my bucket list. If somebody came to me one day and just said, you can do one thing, like what would make, you know, your dreams come true, let me be Rizzo in Grease. I don't care how small or large of a production, just let me be Rizzo in Grease. Anybody who is watching this who potentially knows me in real life, I think there's a few people, my stalker chanting obsession in high school was real, very real, and a lot of that had to do with Rizzo from Grease. So it's just a huge part of who I am, and I was thinking between Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee and There Are Worse Things I Could Do, and for There Are Worse Things I Could Do, I went with that one because I thought that could be for a limited edition or discontinued product. Because I feel like even within the panning community, when you're talking about a limited edition product and panning it, people start freaking out like, no, don't do it because you can't repurchase it. But you know what? Don't hoard things, use it. I'm starting to be an advocate of that more and more. Like, there's no point letting a product sit untouched or to use like on special occasions, because if you finish it, you can't buy a new one. You know what? Just, you have to move on. Find something else. It actually gives you an opportunity then to discover something else. So I thought the first thing when I thought of a limited edition product, well, my favorite limited edition product, my favorite limited edition product is probably the Kat Von D Me Vida Look Remix palette, but like I'm not touching that one for this kind of project. It's not gonna happen. But the second thing would be this, which is the Anastasia Glow Kit, the Ultimate Glow Kit, which was their limited edition holiday release last year. And in another project, I'm trying to hit pan on Amber Gold, and I already have massive pan on Snow, but this is one of my favorite highlighters of all time. I use it so much, and I thought, you know what, let's really pan it. Let's just do this thing. Because the more I've been working on it, the more I've sort of found myself being a little hesitant, like, oh no, what am I gonna do when it's gone? And it's like, you know what? Pan it, more things are gonna come out. There's a lot of white highlighters out there. I'm not gonna be struggling to find one. I already have another one from Becca, Pearl. So you know what? I'm gonna use this up. So that's my goal for this project, is to completely finish up Snow. I feel like there needs to be singing in this video. You've been spared so far, but I know some singing is gonna happen probably pretty soon. So just your fair warning. I'm not gonna sing There Are Worse Things I Could Do. I have kind of bad memories attached to that. When I was in high school, when I was 15, I think it was 15, maybe 16, I don't remember the exact age. I know it was in grade 10, I just can't remember when it fell, because my birthday's the end of April. Anyway, it was 2004, and American Idol was the huge phenomenon, massively crazy, everyone was obsessed with it, and there was a local version for high school students, and I entered it, got to the final round, and the last song I sang was There Are Worse Things I Could Do, but it was so bad because the version I got, so okay, here's the story there. I knew when it got down to it that I was going to do that song, and I loved to sing that song. I had a version of my own of There Are Worse Things I Could Do that I was practicing with, but they would not let me use that version for the final show. And it was not until the dress rehearsal, like a few hours before the final production, the final round, that they actually let me practice with the new song, and it was a totally different arrangement than what I was used to. Like, I must have been rehearsing with like the movie version, and this wasn't the actual like Broadway version, although they sound so, I don't know. It was bad, and they were only going to give me one go around with singing it, but it was so bad they let me practice a little bit more, and I just struggled because I'd been practicing for so long with a different version that having something so different, yeah, I did not do very well, and I was out after that, but I haven't really sang that song since. At karaoke, when I used to go, I definitely sang a lot of show tunes. I always sang Cabaret. What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. And I would sing all that jazz from Chicago. Come on, babe, we're gonna paint the town. And all that jazz. Those were two big ones. And then of course there's Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee. Although I feel like I can't sing Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee right now because I just want to belt it and my son is sleeping and I'm so loud when I sing. I am a belter. The next category, moving on, is a product that pairs well with something in another project. And this was something that Heather came up with, and her song choice was We Go Together from Grease. So I thought it was appropriate that Heather had chosen that and I chose the Grease one, so it was great. I decided to go with a mascara. This is the Revlon Mega Multiplier Mascara. I've talked about this a few times. I actually did like a first impression on it a while ago because I got it from Influencer. But I don't like to keep mascaras open that long if I can help it. I'm trying to be a little bit more sanitary. So because I've opened this for a little while, I wanted to continue using it. And I feel like this really complements everything else I'm using because I don't have another mascara that I'm actively panning, and this will help me pan this very soon. The next category is something new, which I chose based off of Thoroughly Modern Millie from Thoroughly Modern Millie, one of my favorite musicals. I definitely stuck with like my favorite things when I was choosing these categories and these songs. Thoroughly Modern Millie, the song, is this big chorus number because it starts off with Millie who's like leaving her small town and going to New York to start over, and it's in 1922 and you know the world is full of possibilities. So Thoroughly Modern Millie sings about that, about all these new things that are going on and like how risque things are for like young people, and it's so fun and I love the music. And I actually had a hard time thinking of something new. I thought it was going to be easy for some reason. I was just thinking for a long time. So I came up with something that's new-ish because I don't have a whole lot of new things. I just haven't been buying a lot, and not stuff that would be like appropriate to pan. Like I'm not gonna try and work on the Subculture palette, although I'm sure I could hit pan on that without even trying. So this actually has no font on it because I have been using this a lot. A few months ago I did a first impressions full face thing with e.l.f. makeup, and this is a black eyeliner. So I thought that this would work really well. I mean, it really just is like a black eyeliner. There's still a lot of product in here though, and I've been using it often, but it's a new product. I know it's not like brand spanking new, but this was like the newest thing that I could find that I thought was appropriate. The next category is a product that has stood the test of time, or a cult classic, or something that will be remembered for years. And this is Heather's choice. She was inspired by the song History Has Its Eyes on You from Hamilton. And I went with the Anastasia Brow Wiz because I feel like that really is a cult classic product. This is dark brown. I'm just not sure about this product, which is why I want to pan it. And on Hamilton, I'm not big on Hamilton. I know that's like blasphemous to say. I don't know, the whole hype thing with Hamilton, how it's always sold out and how hard it is to get tickets, and I mean, I'm not planning on going to try and see it anytime soon, but just when stuff it gets that extreme, I sort of get turned off by it, and it has nothing to do with the actual thing itself. It's just like, it feels overwhelmingly popular, and I feel like, you know what, I need to step back, let it kind of run its course a little bit, and then I'll try and get into it, because I find sometimes getting too invested in things that are really popular can be very overwhelming. If you've ever tried to be part of the supernatural fandom, you will know what I mean by that. Anyway, moving on. The next category is something green, and it could be product or packaging. And this was also inspired by Heather, and she was inspired by One Short Day from Wicked, although she did note any song from Wicked. And Wicked is another musical that I'm not overly familiar with, although there's some songs that I feel like I know like inside out and backwards. Funny how that works. I don't know, it's one of those weird things that I never really got into except for a couple of songs, and I think everybody knows Popular, and that's one song that I know like inside and out, you know, popular, I'll help you be popular. Anyway, my choice for a green product is this ColourPop eyeliner in Teaspoon, because it's a beautiful color. It is green, it is a green eyeliner, but I find that it's actually sort of crap, just because it tends to crumble on me. I love the color so much, and I want to find something that is more pigmented and doesn't crumble as much. Like, it's pretty but not great, so I thought this would be a good time to work on this, because I like to put this in my waterline sometimes just for something a little bit different. Sometimes I'll smudge it along my entire lower lash line, so it gives me some options to play around with. Next, we have a use or lose product, or a product regret. That is my category, inspired by Take Me or Leave Me from Rent. I wasn't originally going to do Take Me or Leave Me, and I'll explain why in a second, because I don't want to spoil the last one, because I love the last one so much. So Rent is one of my favorite musicals. Maureen is one of my favorite characters, who is one of the people who sings Take Me or Leave Me. Maureen is definitely also high on my list of characters I'd love to play someday, probably number 2. So my use or lose product / product regret is this cream eyeshadow from MAC. This is So So Saucy. It is a soft serve shadow, which I believe that did not last very long. It was like a fail on MAC's part. This is barely touched. I bought this after going to the MAC counter shortly after they came out. I believe it was only like a couple days after they came out, really. And the sales girl who was helping me had it on her eyes. I knew I really wasn't going to use it because I don't use cream eyeshadows, but I just loved the way her makeup looked, and I felt like I trusted her, like when she was like, oh yeah, this is a great product and you'll enjoy using it. And I went, yeah, you know, okay. And so I bought it, and yeah, I didn't get much use out of it. I don't know if I'll necessarily finish this, probably not realistic. But even if I can get a good dip, maybe try and hit pan on it. We'll see. I'm gonna try to use as much of this as I possibly can. All right, and the last category, something you've already hit pan on. Full credit goes to Heather for this, because this was 100% her idea. The internet is for porn from Avenue Q, because the internet is for pan porn. How genius is that? I love Avenue Q too. I actually was going to put in an Avenue Q song instead of Take Me or Leave Me from Rent. I was going to have it be What Do You Do with a BA in English / It Sucks to Be Me, because what do you do with a BA in English? I actually have a BA in English. It sucks to be me. and I just thought, you know, product regret, it would be appropriate. And then when she said the internet is for porn, I went, no, we have to do that one. The internet is for pan porn. And then I swapped out what do you do with a BA in English for take me or leave me from rent. So no regrets there, because the internet is for pan porn is the greatest thing. Like, I love Avenue Q. Avenue Q is my sense of humor. I'm a Family Guy fan. I'm that inappropriate humor kind of person. Yeah, so that says everything about me, I guess. Take me or leave me, that's the way I am. And Avenue Q is so much fun. I love singing the song Schadenfreude. If you've not heard that song, look it up. Avenue Q is a musical I always recommend to people who say they don't like musicals because it's so ridiculous. There's puppets. And I think of Forbidden Broadway as well. If you are not a Broadway person, but especially if you are a Broadway fan, you have to look up Forbidden Broadway, which is basically parodies of Broadway songs. And they have a song that's it's actually a take off of You Gotta Get a Gimmick from Gypsy, but they sing You Gotta Get a Puppet because Avenue Q was like this massive success and it was the only thing that people wanted to see for a while. So the song on Forbidden Broadway was like, you gotta get a puppet if you wanna have a hit. And it's so good. It's so good because the way they sing is true, and sometimes it comes off a little bitter, but man, like, I'm bitter and I'm petty. Give it to me. So Avenue Q has a lot of good songs. I was saying Schadenfreude. What's that? Some kind of Nazi word? Yep, it's German for happiness at the misfortune of others. Happiness at the misfortune of others. That is German. Anyway, I love Schadenfreude. I think a lot of people have probably heard about Everyone's a Little Bit Racist. There's really like offensive, silly songs like I'm Not Wearing Underwear Today and My Girlfriend Who Lives in Canada. But there's also really like heartfelt songs. Like there's a Fine Fine Line, which was like every girl's audition song that I knew when I was auditioning for musicals. Like I'd be in the same room with people who were auditioning using, you know, the modern songs, all the new things, singing things from Popular from Wicked, and singing songs from Rent, and singing, you know, There's a Fine Fine Line from Avenue Q. And my audition song was the trolley song from Meet Me in St. Louis. That was always my audition song, and I feel like if I had to audition for a musical tomorrow, I would still use that song. I know all the words, I know it inside and out. It's a musical. Well, I know the movie version with Judy Garland, and you know, clang, clang, clang with the trolley, ding, ding, ding with the bell, zing, zing, zing with my heartstrings, from the moment I saw him I fell. That was my song. I was singing the song from the 40s. Anyway, the internet is really, really great for porn. I decided to go with my Anastasia Dip Brow. This is ash brown, and there's a lot of pan porn here. And I feel like this will be a challenge. Will I finish this in 3 months? Probably not. But I want to like try and maybe like clear off one side or something. Really make that pan porn impressive. So a huge thank you to Heather for collabing with me on this. This truly was a collaboration between the two of us, and it was so much fun working with her. We'd collabed before. That's actually how we got connected on YouTube, which is awesome. So collabs really bring people together. So if you want to join in on this, or if you want to do your own version, please do. I know some people have done their own version based off of my Fleetwood Mac one, and that's been awesome. It's so much fun when you inspire people and people are like coming up with their own ideas and new projects, and it's so much fun to kind of keep that cycle going. So I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited to watch Heather's progress, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was really fun getting to unleash my inner Rachel Berry a little bit more. She doesn't come out very often anymore, and I kind of missed her. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns down below. I'll do my best to answer you as soon as I possibly can. I'm still working on getting back on schedule, so things might be a few days behind, but I will get there, I promise. But if there's anything in particular that you really want me to put a push on, then just let me know in the comments and I will do my best to accommodate your requests. All right, thank you once again for watching, and I hope I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. Why do you think the net was born? Porn, porn, porn.